We're live with Priest Glenn Cotten. I'm Cardinal Clark Isaac. Thanks for joining us, brother.
Hey, thanks, Clark, for having me. I appreciate
Hey, it's no
the
trouble.
invite to come back.
Happy to have you.
Thank you.
We always tend to have fun talking about American politics, and I really appreciate your insight on the matter. Also, you got a great sense of humor, so I'm hoping we can poke a little fun at the presidential candidates and maybe the system itself. At the same time, people, they need some insight about what this all means for America and where we're going next, what they can expect. So I know you wanted to talk about the upcoming presidential debate, but there were some legal issues that Trump's facing that might even prevent that from happening.
Yes, absolutely. This poor guy has been put through the hoops by the Democrats and the Biden administration. It seems like he's not catching any breaks whatsoever. Um, just recently, everybody's been watching the trial that unfolded. This farce of a trial that Trump had to go through, and their attempt to keep him off the campaign trail. Um, the trial really had no merits. They didn't even express any charges to him. The trial was run by a Biden supporting judge by the name of Juan Marchand. This man is up to his neck in Biden donations along with his daughter. They have been making money on the side for the Biden team. The prosecutor, we know, had already had in his agenda to say that he was out to get Trump. That was his main goal. And this is the same Democratic prosecutor who literally releases thousands of criminals on the streets of New York with no bail.
So this whole case is about this Stormy Daniels situation. Clearly not a credible witness, but nonetheless, that's what they're basing most of this off of. But this judge, according to what I'm reading here, according to Newsweek, they're saying that the Federal Elections Commission found that the judge that you're referring to here in Trump's case made 3 donations totaling $35 to the Democratic fundraising campaign.
Yeah, I don't know if that's accurate or not. We've heard that he's been given a lot more money than that. So, but
it seems like a biased reporting there.
It is. His daughter is also making a lot of money too for the Biden team. Like I say, this whole case was a big farce. We had a Democratic Biden supporting judge who stifled the defense on every turn, every objection they made. He went ahead and didn't let their objections go through. Then we have a prosecutor who clearly states that his number one thing was to get Trump. Same prosecutor who, like I say, releases thousands of prisoners on the streets of New York with no bail. Uh, these these criminals have actually beat up New York cops and been released by this same prosecutor. But yet, when it comes to Trump, and they don't have any charges, whatever they have, these misdemeanor charges, they go ahead and try to elevate those to felony charges. And the whole point of it is to keep Trump from running. Uh, let's talk about the jury. The jury was entirely made up of Democratic supporters. So how can you go into a court, face a Democratic judge, a hard-nosed Democratic prosecutor who doesn't have any charges, but he's going to trump some up and increase your charges from misdemeanors to felonies, and you have to face a Democratic jury? How are you going to win in that kind of situation? Obviously, they found him guilty, and sentencing is due next week. There's already rumors that the judge may go ahead and sentence Trump to a year at Rikers Island and to put him in prison. I don't know how the American people are going to handle that. I would imagine there's going to be an outrage over it. If this does occur, we don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But Trump's been put through the loops. They are trying everything they can right now to make sure he doesn't run. If you remember a few months back, there were states that were even trying to remove him off the ballot. It had to go to the Supreme Court. States like Colorado and Wisconsin were trying to, and Rhode Island were trying to get him off the ballot completely, wipe him off. Every attempt they're making is to keep him from becoming a president, and they're doing everything they can to make sure that doesn't happen.
They're even rigging the debate, it seems.
Yeah, we'll get to that in just a moment. There's another issue here that just came up. I don't know if you know Special Counsel Jack Smith. He's pushing for a gag order over the classified document case, and that can completely stifle the debate issue. He's gone to Judge Eileen Cannon, and this has to do with his remarks about the FBI authorizing to assassinate him and his family. If
Wow.
this gag order goes through, obviously that's going to affect the ability to have the debate tomorrow night. So we'll have to see that.
There's some people out there that are saying that this gag order, sorry, not the gag order, but the authorization from the FBI to, quote, assassinate the president, former President Donald Trump, it's not a misinterpretation like what they're saying. I mean, they authorized the use of deadly force for this raid.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's absurd.
That's crazy, isn't it? And these are over documents. And these are, if you remember this, at the same time, Joe Biden had documents in his garage next to his Corvette that were pretty accessible. You know, he had documents all over his house. And of course, his DOJ refused to prosecute him on any of that. But at the same time, they're willing to go in and use deadly force against an ex-president for documents that they say he wasn't supposed to have. Every president in history has had documents that they've taken with them from the White House. And it just doesn't make any sense that they're willing to do that with Trump, but yet Biden walks free with his document issue again. No problem. You know, he's excused.
Quite a bit of hypocrisy there.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. This poor guy is just being run through the grind. The Democrats are doing everything they can.
I mean, we really want to stay as unbiased as possible. You know, not leaning in any particular direction merely for party loyalty, so to speak. But it's clear that the way Democrats run that country is evil, and the way Republicans are trying to counter that, they're almost like martyrs at this point.
Absolutely, absolutely. Evil has really grabbed a hold of the left. They live on lies and deceit and dishonesty. Everything that they can do. There was just recently a news report where a Republican supporter This lady was on CNN, and they were talking about one of the big debate moderators, Jack Jack Tapper, and she had said how Jack Tapper uh, had disliked Trump for a long time and that he was biased against Trump. And the CNN reporter jumped in and basically said, the anchor said, um, I don't appreciate you talking about my coworkers like this. And she says, but it's fact. I'm not making up anything. Everything about Jack Tapper is on the internet. It's fact. And she goes, I won't allow that. And she cut her off completely and shut her down and moved to commercial right away. And she was gone. So anything that's said in negative response, even if it's true, they're going to make sure that it's not heard by the American people. You know. So,
unfortunately, that's what we expect from CNN.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it blows me away that this upcoming debate is held at CNN studios in Atlanta, Georgia. Yes.
What kind of coin toss do they have to win?
Sounds just like the trial he just went through. I mean, everywhere he turns.
You know what's ridiculous? I don't know why I didn't realize this earlier, but the presidential debate, there's a coin toss between the two party candidates over which side of the stage they get to stand on.
Yes.
But all these other things are out of their control. They get to decide left or right.
And did you hear about that? Joe won the coin toss.
Oh, and he picked the right side.
He picked the right side. And why did he pick the right side?
Psychologically, people are drawn to the right side.
Exactly. So they're trying to get a little bit of edge there, hoping that people will focus more on him on the right side.
Oh, I hope they do too. I hope they focus a lot on Biden. Trump won't have to do any talking.
No. Biden's going to be stepping in the mud puddles himself.
Right. So okay. So we got the stuff about Biden preparing for the debate.
Oh yeah, this is something else.
16 people, is it?
16 advisors, yes, and they've gone ahead and set up a complete mock studio with lighting and desks and set up an entire platform to mimic the actual debate that he's going to be going through. And here's what's funny. He's taken an entire week off from the White House, and they don't even miss him. What's that say?
Well, why would they?
I know, it's crazy.
I mean, they got the guy who pulls the marionette strings. He's the one running the country right now. Sure. Yeah.
So
or the gal.
He's taken a whole week off for a 90-minute debate with 16 advisors. Now, most guys, most nominees usually have 2 or 3 advisors.
Yeah.
He's got 16. 16 of them beating him up on what they think Trump is going to say.
That would be overwhelming. But not only is it like, so many advisors, but they're doing it twice a day, doing a full mock-up of the debate, 90 minutes twice a day.
That's just insane. I'm surprised he hasn't fallen asleep during the whole thing.
Yeah, go back a week on our episodes. Glenn was with us Wednesday last week, and we were talking about Biden reaching like stage 5 or 6 of senility out
Dementia.
of 7.
Yes, stage 5 of dementia.
Yes, thank you, dementia, stage 5. But it looked more like 6.
It could be.
When you really get down to brass tacks and you look at all the symptoms, he might be like 9 out of 10
edging
on
in
that.
the 6 there.
Yeah,
and it was just brought up a couple of days ago. Again, they pushed that this man is at stage 5 dementia right now, and he's running our country. And
yeah,
the people that don't know about it are being kept in the dark purposely by these liberal news organizations. They don't want
it's
them
hard
to know
not
the
to
truth.
notice it though. Even
I
if
know.
you do, the way they try to explain it away and saying like, oh, this is like cheap fake what people are posting, like they're saying like they slow down the video so it looks like Biden's slower. You don't have to slow it down to make him look slow.
I know.
You could speed it up and he'd look slow.
So here's what else is going on. We just talked about the trial and how that seems to be totally left-wing bias on that. Now we have a debate being held at CNN studios in Atlanta, Georgia, by 2 moderators, Jack Tapper and Dana Bash. Both of these moderators have histories of negative torment against Donald Trump. I mean, you can look it up. Everything that they've said over the past couple of years, they pushed the laptop issue as Russian disinformation.
So
Uh,
what this might be is just a debate between these announcers and Trump.
well, they're saying right now that Trump is going to be debating all three: Biden, Jack, and Dana.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, they're going to be setting minefields up for him and traps to get him into. It's already been talked about that they're going to be bringing up January 6th, which we know was, again, set up by the Democrats. They're going to be bringing up the fact that he's a felon now. They're going to be bringing up all kinds of trash talk about him. They're claiming they're going to be unbiased about it, but uh, we just have to watch the debate. I think it's going to be a total attack of Trump by not only Biden, but by these two moderators that were picked. It blows me away. If they're going to pick out moderators, they should be picking out moderators that are independent, not left or right. A pool of independent voters would have been probably the best thing because they're not leaning to the Republican or the Democrats, and it would have been more of a fair moderation. But to have two people that absolutely hate Donald Trump moderating the debates against their candidate, uh, again, you just have to laugh.
Yeah, it's absurd the amount of bias that's there, and clearly the system's rigged.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And
The
American
judicial system and the political system, both leaning left, and not maybe not just leaning left, but swimming in the left,
yeah.
deep on the deep end.
What aggravates me is they actually think the American people are that stupid. They really think American people are that stupid and that they can fool everybody with their BS.
Well, maybe they are.
Well, I don't think they're stupid. I think they're naive and being blinded by the truth. They're not. They're,
You're kind of defining stupidity as you're saying that, though, aren't you?
a little bit. I guess I'm just saying that by not getting the truth to them and keeping a lot of the reality away from them and keeping them in the dark, they're gaining traction, and that's their whole purpose, is to make sure that the American people aren't getting the truth. But more and more, we're seeing that the American people are seeing what's happening. It's right in front of their face.
I think that people tend to follow along with what other people around them are saying and doing. And if they're in a region of the nation where it's popular to support one candidate or the other, they're going to tend to follow along with what's being said around them.
Yes.
And I noticed that quite a bit with some people that I know back where I'm from in Washington State, in the Seattle area and around the Puget Sound, that most of them are Democrat. Most of them are really happy about whatever it is that's said or done against Donald Trump. They don't really look into the facts on the matter. They're just all about the rhetoric. And the same could be said about others, like let's say in
California.
yeah. Well, I'm saying on the other side of the coin here with Republicans, that they tend to view things from the other side, and they don't view both sides as much. But I will say this: I think that Republicans tend to be able to look at things unbiased if they choose, whereas Democrats, if they were to look at things unbiased, it would completely change their mindset. So that much is clear. And if anyone were to look at this from the outside looking in, and we Americans really need to be mindful of how the country looks to the rest of the world right now, because we're on the verge of World War III, and we're not providing the same support that we used to provide for Israel. And really, Israel was the United States' closest ally for a long time. And if they turn their backs on Israel, as they're doing now, and that continues forward, they're going to be making some clear enemies. And Mossad is not an enemy anybody wants, nor is Russia, nor is China. But the United States military is also demilitarizing itself. Their funding is going down for
Yeah, and I do have to
their
correct you.
spending.
It's not really America that I look at. It's the Biden administration that's doing this, right?
Mm.
It's the left running American government. I mean,
Well, we might have our own little debate going here.
I just feel that you know this whole thing with not supplying arms to Israel and siding with Hamas and all the riots that are going on right now and all the protests going on which are pro Hamas, and how uh, the administration is allowing it to happen, and the DOJ is allowing it to happen, and the FBI is allowing it to happen. These are all tools that the Biden administration is using. They're
Well,
weaponizing
that's
these.
factual,
Yeah,
and allowing it to happen really, like if you allow if you're in a position of authority and you allow a crime to happen, you're complicit in that crime. So
absolutely.
essentially, those who are in authority over these matters are complicit in global terrorism. And that much has been consistent for quite some time. And you might say that Donald Trump's administration is the exception. That's clear because they clearly did not support those same organizations across the board. It was polarized compared to the Biden administration. But to say that the Republican Party as a whole is represented clearly by Trump and his administration, I would disagree with, because both sides, both party lines, or the party line, is very blurred until Trump came into office. It used to, and it was very clear in the past that they were both operating under the same objectives. But now that Trump is, I wouldn't say he's taken over the Republican Party, but he's put a cleaner face on it for people who are looking for something refreshing, like somebody who might seem more good intention, a righteous type of person who wants America's best interests and the American people's best interests to come first. That's what Americans really want. And he represented that quite well and operated quite well under that flag.
Right.
But does he even stand a chance of winning again?
Well, he's got a great chance of winning again as long as the election is fair. Uh, Again, the Democrats are already looking at rigging the machines, possibly. You know,
These
uh,
don't sound like good chances to me.
I know.
I would root for Trump. I really want to, but I don't even know if the election is going to happen with him as a candidate at this point.
Who knows? Who knows? The war is building up over in the Middle East right now. I worry about the safety of America. Um, I don't know if we're even going to make it to the election time. Um, Switching gears here a little bit. If I'm China, or if I'm Russia, and by the way, China, has made a pact with North Korea, and now Russia has made a pact with North Korea. They're all trying to be buddies here. Um, if I'm any one of those countries and I'm looking to strike America and to hurt them, now's the perfect time. Oh, we can't strike if Trump gets in there. We got to strike before Trump gets in there. We know the election's coming up. We know that Trump's running. We have sent millions of dollars to the Democrats to stifle it, to make sure it doesn't happen, to make sure that Trump doesn't get elected. It seems like it's just this one huge picture that's supported by George Soros funds,
Mm.
Chinese funds, Russian funds. Who knows? But it looks like a giant um, game of trying to destroy America. And if they're going to do it, they're going to do it before the election.
Well, you might consider that they're waiting to see what happens with the election, because they could be waiting for the opportunity to actually have a productive relationship with the United States again, which would happen through the Trump administration.
Yeah, that's a valid point. That could happen, but the track record of these countries in the past has not been pro-American. China has stolen so many of our secrets
They steal
about our
from
weapons.
everybody.
Yeah, about our weapons, about computer technology.
And
Uh,
and Russia is no longer reliant on the American dollar like they were ever since they were
So
established
they're
as a
moving away
nation.
from it.
Yeah, ever since
Absolutely.
Soviet Union, they at the fall of the Soviet Union, Russia was on the American gold standard.
So
That's no longer the case.
I just don't see, because of their track record, that they would come on board. I personally, me, if I were one of those countries and I wanted to get rid of America or I wanted to take over America, I would definitely not wait to the election and take a chance that Trump is going to be
In
president.
some ways, China is kind of already taken over America. They have a
Absolutely.
great amount of influence in
Oh my
politics and
goodness.
business.
The property that they own, the
Yeah.
farmland that they own, the their students come over into our universities. I mean, by the hundreds and hundreds of thousands. Just recently, the Chinese migrants were coming through the southern border, um, and most of them didn't even know why they were here. Almost like they were sent purposely,
Mm.
to set up spy networks in the United States. It's incredible what's going on.
They couldn't even give them a cover story. They just came in like, I don't know why I'm
Yeah,
here.
it's exactly. Why are you?
They just don't even care at
Why are
that
you
point.
here? You're here from China? Yeah. Why are you here? Uh, I'm not sure.
Nobody told me what to say. I don't.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just coming in here. I'm going to get my instructions from the party once I get located. They're going to tell me what to do once I'm here. Set up a spy network. I don't
Yeah, we're gonna get our instructions from TikTok.
know. What a
The
mess.
Disney Channel will guide us because
Yeah,
yeah,
Disney Channel. Yeah.
I know that you brought up a really good point before this episode. We haven't been featuring this enough.
Oh, absolutely. We talk here on the show all the time about truth, and our main thing is to spread the word of our Lord in Christ. Um, One of the things that we've always talked about is getting the true, uh, the truth and the true doctrine to our followers, to get people to understand the truth. And I'm sure you've debated several times about the falsehoods of uh, some of the teachings of the Bible, how people interpret it in the wrong way.
Yeah,
And
I don't typically debate what's in the Bible, but most of the time it's the
the
interpretation.
interpretation,
Yeah,
exactly. And so, one thing I wanted to stress is we offer this book right here. I don't know if you've all seen it. It's approaching a bestseller. Right now, it is on Amazon, both in English and in the Spanish version. This book will open your mind to what's really going on. All the lies you've been taught, all the deceptions you've been taught, all of that will be straightened out and told in a beautiful format to you through this book. It's affordable. It'll fit right in your budget, and I guarantee you, once you get this book, you're going to understand a lot of things that you never knew before, and your mind is going to open up, and you'll finally understand what we were trying to tell you. But if you get a chance, definitely go to Amazon, look this book up, The Return of Christ, and order yourself a copy. I highly recommend it. I think you won't be disappointed.
okay. I'll try to say that in Spanish, maybe in reverse order. La libra nombre es El Regreso de Cristo. Es muy importante información y también is, no sé, available on Amazon. And la información tengo más fuerte en tu mente y en tu espiritual. Es muy importante. El precio es bueno. Es y digital y normal, libre y disponible en Amazon.
I think you did a good job.
Yeah, discúlpame, mi español es muy malo. Pero yo vivo en México suficiente tiempo por explicar el regreso de Cristo.
Absolutely. Good job. Okay. Well, we covered a lot of topics this week. I always enjoy watching your streams. I know that many people out there enjoy watching them. I hope we talked a little bit today about some of the concerns. There's going to be a lot of people watching this debate tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And I believe it's on CNN, which I don't normally watch, but
I guess you got no choice.
I guess I got no choice. But it ought to be, it ought to be, it ought to be a battle going on
You know,
to see this take place.
I think that, yeah, we should be mindful that it's going to be on CNN. We should probably watch it on some other networks too, just in case. But we really, I don't know. I fully expect this to go awry in some way, and for CNN to like cut the feed or something, because Biden simply looks like a fool at like various points in the conversation. It just gets to be too much that perhaps Biden just collapses on stage
He
or
fall
something.
asleep
Yeah.
while Trump's talking.
Yeah, Sleepy Joe there, and then they got to get a stand-in, and Kamala Harris comes on the stage and just starts laughing her ass off.
Well, the moderators, that would be funny. The moderators are going to be there to protect him. So when Joe starts to fumble and when Joe starts to fall asleep or when Joe does this, his moderators, the CNN anchors that hate Trump, are going to be right there to step in and move that camera to Trump and attack, 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 move the camera away from our friend and brother there, Joe Biden. So it's gonna be a clown show. It really is. It's gonna be a clown show.
Looking forward to that. When's that coming up again?
Tomorrow night,
Tomorrow night.
9 p.m. Eastern time.
Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Yep, June 27th.
June 27th. Wow, we're getting really close to that July. Remember that code that predicted July?
The code about July, yes.
And it had the name Harris in it?
It had Kamala in it as a replacement, which was really interesting.
Yeah.
So
See how that goes.
We'll see how that goes.
Well, we'll be watching the debate and looking forward to your commentary come next week. We'll probably talk about that and other developing news about this case. And
yeah, and of course the sentencing of Trump next week. I'd be curious to know. Yeah, the judge is on the hot seat there, so if he does sentence Trump to a year at Rikers Island, I believe all hell's going to break loose.
Well, I think we're gonna end the show right there. And do you have any final words for our audience?
Nope. Thank you for watching. I appreciate, and thank you for inviting me to this cast here. I appreciate it. I always look forward to joining in conversation.
No problem, brother. It's good to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
May God bless in the name of the returned Christ, Lord Rael.
Amen.
Amen.